What's up, YouTube? G Money here. Today I have some leaf springs from a '66 Ford Mustang. Now, I have already taken off one of them completely, which is why I want to make this video, because I know I can do this. One side has these push-in bushings. The other side, if you could see, has a casing, metal casing. With the casing, it had this metal piece inside of it, and then rubber all the way around. The way I took this off, the rubber torch, turn it on. That's a regular torch. You can weld with this torch, but what I used it is to soften the rubber, and then use the flathead screwdriver to take out the rubber. And I'm using the flathead screwdriver and banging it out so that the casing is not completely stuck to my leaf spring. I bend the casing in, then I could put either a socket, I could put any kind of attachment, and then press it out. But I just need a little more surface area, basically. So, flathead screwdriver and a hammer, and just keep whacking at it. Inside is pretty dented up. This is how it looks. Otherwise, the other way of pressing them out or beating them out is, if you put a socket over top, you could bang it out. But I tried doing that with this, way too big. It all depends on how big the casing is. If the casing is, big enough, you just don't have enough strength in your body to push a metal casing out. I have the leaf springs right behind me with the press. Thing is, when I originally made the video, it accidentally got deleted. So I'm going to be showing you the casing that was pressed out, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Unfortunately, there is no need to press it because it's already been pressed. But what I used is I put a ball joint press socket over top, or ball joint adapter you should call it. I put it up through there, and the biggest key to getting everything done is to make sure to line it up with the hole right here, because it's gonna want to push, the press is gonna want to push the bushing out. Okay, rear end time. I have a 1966 Ford Mustang rear end. Now they did do different kinds in that vehicle. They put a larger one for the 8-cylinder motor. I have the 6. I have the 3.3 liter 6, and basically everything's tiny with this car. I got four lug nuts per wheel. Currently I'm taking out the inner wheel seal, and everybody, whenever I was getting ready to do this is my first time doing this, by the way, and as soon as I looked at the first one, I'm like, why in the world is everybody saying I need a slide hammer? Couldn't understand why I need a slide hammer, because the way I completely just saw a different way of doing it without any slide hammer, without any technical tools. I'm like, why do you keep saying that? Never understood. But I didn't need one. I already got one side off, so I already know I can get the other side off. This side still has a seal in it. Basically, I'm just trying to go around the entire bearing, or wheel seal, not bearing. Going around the entire wheel seal and applying the pry bar. It does move just slightest hair every time. So again, if you continue going around with your pry bar, I see it moving. I see it coming out little by little as I do each one of these. Go on the other side. And I'm redoing these steps. That's why, again, I'm very much comfortable working on them. So that's why, again, it's work on somewhere where it's okay getting scratched up and being moved around, basically. Again, if you know, you're just sitting there making it move all over the place, you might be scratching things up. Unless you got a surface area that you don't care about scratches, like me. Got the other one off. I know for a fact that I can get this one off. I basically got it. This thing just moved like a lot just now. Okay, watch this. I'm gonna go on the other side. It's coming out. Casing stays on the outside. This is supposed to face the inside of the axle. Again, I have different items that I use to beat things out or beat things in, whichever direction they need to go, like sockets and different other stuff. That's why all of my tools, especially sockets, like they actually have bang marks on the back of them because I wear them all the time. All the time. So stick that in. What I'm checking to see is if it's seated in the same place everywhere. Making sure there's the same amount of gap. Drive shafts. Let me stick it in. Theoretically, that rubber piece is supposed to seal right here because, again, this thing is going to stay wet with gear oil inside of it, and this is the wheel bearing right here. So basically this seal is supposed to be pressed right up against the wheel bearing, which is what mine is going to be, and that's why it's a wheel seal. Let me show you what I'm currently working on. Now, this type of work is messy. If you look, again, this is all the dirt that has been part of this. See, this is a rusted one that has not been cleaned. Nice and rusty. This one, see, the rust has been taken off. If you look at them side by side next to each other, one's rusty and one of them is bare metal. In the grooves, in the cracks, especially like right there, I will need to use manual sandpaper. Same as this. You see the rear axle with the hub right here, whole rear axle. And if you look again, inside the groove still has rust on it, but otherwise I did have to plug that because as for the brakes, and it actually goes all the way inside the axle, and I prefer to keep it clean, so that's why I plugged it up temporarily because I'm making a mess. This side is not cleaned. This side is still has rust on it, especially like a lot of crud buildup right there. If you compare the nice clean one next to the dirty one, you know, it's noticeable difference. got the rear end and both leaf springs here. The rear end is nice and pretty now, painted, and same with this leaf spring. Oh, it is black. I don't know why it's not as shiny as the rear end. Maybe I need to put another coat on it. I just want to show you guys the painting process and what I use to paint. And what I use to paint is Rust-Oleum, specifically automotive grade, and works really well. I've used quite a bit of these. I'm going to show you quite easy process. Take this can, shake it up. Might need to use that. Do not paint inside. Bushings will be going inside there.
Okay, everybody, I am ready to install the leaf spring and the rear end. Let me show you what so far I've been doing. I have both of them on the ground there. I do want to show you guys that the only thing so far I have done after I put the bushings in is that bolt right there. See the new bushings inside there? I stuck an entire bolt through the whole frame, and the nut, bolt and nut are on the other side. So far that's the only thing I've done, and I've done it on both sides. The other one side has a nut as well. So one side of the leaf springs are on, and we're gonna lift everything up in the air now. So next step is we're gonna put everything up in the air. Thing to concentrate on this hole right here. There's another hole on the exact opposite side, because there's obviously two leaf springs that are holding this thing. And the way that these two holes line up is on this shaft, I guess. I think you would consider that a shaft protruding out of the leaf spring. Because there's one right there, and the other one is right there. So that is what holds the rear end. And then as far as these go, that side is attached by this right here. One side is right here, goes right through here, and then you put a nut on it, and the other side attaches onto the up there, up in the air. Let me show you guys. Definitely need a little more light on this. Bam. Oh yeah. So yeah, see, one side attaches right there, and the other side is gonna hang off of the leaf spring itself. Both leaf springs are attached. All I did is prop it up past the leaf springs, so that when I am ready for it, it's already in place. Put them inside the hole. There is an attachment that goes over top of it, which is the very next step. But yeah, just a bunch of basically giant clamps. Now, thing that needs to be addressed. Plate right here. Again, the nuts go through. Down from here, shock absorber. And that shock absorber goes up to this hole right here. Yeah, just a bunch of basically giant clamps. Okay, shock absorbers. Woohoo. Duralast. Can't really see that, but that's what they are. And they go right through there. Everything's black. Well, my entire car is black. So yeah, the shock absorbers are on. 66 Mustang, the trunk, or inside the gas tank is inside the trunk. So nice thing is, again, I could actually hop in there because I don't have a trunk lid right now. I took it off. I could hop in there to show you guys
this beauty. So yeah, if you guys could see, first the bushing, then the washer, and then the nut goes over top, and it goes the same way on both sides, and that's how you attach the shock absorbers in a 66 Ford Mustang through the floor of the car. And that's everything. Now to tighten it all.